Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back. I hope you guys are doing wonderful out there. I've got an interesting video for you today. I got a little bit of notes here written down. I had an email that came through recently from an individual, knows that I'm a martial artist, knows that I'm a fight fan, knows that I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, knows that I'm very cerebral when it comes to fighting and the fight game. So the question was if I would break down the upcoming UFC event that's going to be held this coming Saturday, July 10th in Las Vegas, Nevada at the T-Mobile Arena. This is UFC 264. So yes, I'm here to break down the co-main event and the main event for this fight. So we're going to talk about the co-main event. 170 pounds, you're dealing with welterweights. You have number 2 on the list of 170 pounders, that's Gilbert Burns from Brazil, versus number 4, Stephen Thompson. Okay, so if you look at Gilbert Burns, he's 19-4-0, that's his record. And Stephen Thompson is 16-4-1. Now, if you want to talk about the fighters like height, reach, and age, the height of Gilbert Burns, 5'8", and the height of Stephen Thompson, 6 feet tall, which is going to give Stephen Thompson a little bit more reach. He's got a 75-inch reach versus Gilbert Burns, whose reach is 71 inches. Now, the age of these fighters, you got Gilbert Burns, 34 years old, and Stephen Thompson is kind of coming in at the tail end of his career, being 38 years old. But he's not done yet. And on this fight, I see it as the typical striker versus grappler matchup. I really do. Stephen Thompson is not just a high-level striker. He's not just a black belt. Stephen Thompson is a master in karate. Not a black belt, a master, a step above. So his striking is fantastic. He's very good at setting up his shots and making things land. He has a style of karate that reminds me of Lyoto Machida. The guy is just solid on the feet. Gilbert Burns, on the other hand, is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So he's going to probably be trying to take this fight to the ground, probably going to try to spend as little time in this range as he can. In other words, he's going to try to close the distance. I think this would be his secret to success in this fight. Close the distance without taking damage, get to the clinch, get the takedown, and win the fight by submission. Both of these guys are extremely durable. I'm very excited about this fight. Gilbert Burns is vulnerable when he's going from this range, which is outside of the kicking range, and then he closes the distance a little bit to get inside of the kicking range. That's where Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is very dangerous. Now, getting closer into the punching range, very dangerous again. But Burns, being the shorter reach, I think is going to be a little bit more effective in the closer range dirty boxing type situation. I also believe that if he can get to the clinch, the takedown is going to happen, and I really do believe that Gilbert Burns Jiu-Jitsu will submit Stephen Thompson. Now, is he going to be able to get Thompson down? Who knows? Because we're dealing with fighters that are kind of in title contention. The winner of this fight could move into a title shot, potentially. I'm not saying that's going to happen because we really don't know. But if I had to pick one, I got to go with Gilbert Burns on this one. I really do believe that he's going to have enough to get the fight to the ground. He might take some damage because Stephen Wonderboy, for him to win the fight, in my opinion, he's got to stay on the feet and use what he's good at. He's got to manage the distance, and that will allow him to manage the damage. If he can work around and dance around the octagon all night and run this thing and make Burns come after him and counter punch and stuff like that, I think Wonder Boy could put him out. I really do. He's a solid fighter. But my gut goes with Gilbert Burns on this one by submission. I don't know when it's going to happen. First round, second round, third round. But I just think Burns is going to get hurt. And I think he's going to end up getting the takedown and submitting Wonder Boy. Now moving forward, let's talk about the lightweight division, 155 pounds. This is an extremely fantastic, interesting fight. You've got number one, not the champion of Charles Oliveira, but you got number one, Dustin Poirier, the former champ. Oh my gosh, going against number 5, the former champ, Conor McGregor. Now, this fight is just amazing. It's got highlight reel written all over it. 5-round fight. They are 1-1 with each other. Conor knocked out Dustin Poirier in their first fight. Dustin Poirier knocked out Conor in the second fight. This is the third fight. This is the trilogy. This is the rubber match. Those 2 fights don't matter. What happens in this fight is for all the marbles. If Dustin wins, he wins the trilogy. He has a spot over Conor. And if Conor wins, he's got that thing over Dustin forever. They won't fight again. This is it. So let's talk about it real quick. Dustin Poirier, 27-6-0 with 1 no contest. Conor McGregor, 22-5-0. You want to talk about the height? They are both 5'8". Talk about the reach. Dustin Poirier's reach is 72 inches and Conor McGregor's reach is 74 inches. Both fighters are 32 years of age, so it's an extremely even matchup. This fight has title contention written all over it as well. In fact, Dana White, who the president of the UFC, said in an interview, whoever wins this fight very well could get a title shot. That's just crazy. So my gut is strong on this one. I could see it literally going either way. I could see Conor coming out and clipping him and winning. I could also see Dustin doing the same thing. I could see Dustin getting this fight to the ground and potentially submitting Conor. I don't think that Dustin is going to knock him out again. I think Conor, knowing the importance of this fight, not only title contention on the line, and not only is it the rubber match, Conor does not want to be outdone in a trilogy fight. I think Conor's training his butt off for this fight, and I think Conor's going to show up, and I think he's going to shock the world, and he's going to win the rubber match. I think he's going to knock out Dustin Poirier again. That's my prediction. And then, of course, after that, you've got title contention possibly against Charles Oliveira, who won the belt May 15th, 2021. Now, that leaves you the list of the 155-pound division. You got number 1, Dustin Poirier. Number 2, Justin Gaethje. Number 3, Beneil Dariush. Number 4, Michael Chandler, very interesting fighter there. And number 5, Conor McGregor. Number 6, Tony Ferguson. Number 7, Rafael Dos Anjos. Number 8, Dan Hooker. So this is fantastic. If Conor wins this fight, you know, let's not forget he's number 5, Dustin's number 1. If Conor wins this fight, he takes a fast trip to the title. I mean, he doesn't have to fight these other guys. He goes straight for the title, I believe. So he's really going to move up in the rankings if he wins this fight in a spectacular fashion. So my prediction, again, Gilbert Burns is going to submit Stephen Thompson, and Conor is going to knock out Dustin Poirier, probably in the 3rd or 4th round, something like that. They're both going to get hurt. This fight will have blood. It's going to be crazy. I think Conor, when he fought Dustin the first time, he was mean and nasty and that talking a lot of trash Conor. The second fight, the one that Dustin won, we had a new version of Conor McGregor. He was the polite Conor, you know, after Khabib spanked him. So he had a different approach with Dustin Poirier in the second fight. He was too nice. This time, I believe we're going to see the mean Conor again, the one that's talking trash. And I think he's going to pull the trigger. I think he's going to do it in this fight. So I hope you appreciate this video. I hope you like what I had to say. I'm excited about this fight. I could be right, I could be wrong. Take it for a grain of salt. But with all that being said, folks, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day. We'll see you July 10th, UFC 264. Bye for now.